Greetings, Tezos Nation. Welcome to another edition of TezTalks Live. I'm Stu from the Tezos Commons. Joining me today is Matt Nagy, Chief Operating Officer at Triumph Games. Triumph Games, for those who might not know, is the next generation Web 2.5, Web 3, and mobile RPG gaming company that's recently unleashed its new fantasy RPG game, BattleRise Kingdom of Champions, and has a token launch and public sale coming up in just a matter of days. On today's stream, we'll be giving away 3 battle token packages containing $200, $100, and $50 worth of battle tokens, respectively, to 3 of our lucky viewers. If you'd like one of those lucky viewers to be you, keep an ear out for a keyword later on during the stream, and then comment with the keyword below this video where it's posted by the @TezosCommons account on X. Hi, Matt. Where are you right now, and how is the weather?
I am in the mountains of North New Jersey at the minute, visiting my folks. And apart from the 4.8 magnitude earthquake that happened a couple of hours ago, the weather is gray and cold.
Interesting day for you so far.
Very interesting, yes,
Well,
for sure.
we're very glad you still made it. To get the ball rolling, can you tell us a little bit about your background and your personal journey into the exciting world of gaming?
Yeah, I lucked out. Many years ago, I was dating a girl whose sister was dating the head coder of Probe Entertainment, and I managed to walk into being the lead designer of Die Hard Trilogy and Alien Trilogy, both games for PlayStation 1. They were 2 of the biggest selling PlayStation 1 games of all time. And that just got me into the games industry, and I've been in the games industry ever since. Started running my own companies. One was called Coyote. The next one was called Attractive Games. And we backed lots of Nintendo products. But when the Wii market died, then we're like, okay, what do we do next? So we've been in mobile space ever since.
Very cool. And that journey, of course, has led you to becoming COO of Triumph Games, which I briefly introed off the top there. Can you tell us a bit about Triumph Games, why you decided to create it, and what that journey has looked like so far?
Okay. Well, we started. My wife and I run Triumph Games. She's the CEO. She's absolutely gorgeous, but she doesn't want to touch anything technical. You do the technical stuff, and and so she's the best figurehead in the world. We made Triumph Games because we wanted to build this game called BattleRise. We were playing Galaxy of Heroes at the time, and we said this would be better with Lord of the Rings characters. And so we started building it. And while we were building it and getting closer and closer to launch, Web3 stuff started coming out. And we're like, oh, this is the next wave of computer gaming. It is definitely, it was played to earn at the time. And we said, but we saw some issues with it. We'll talk more about that later, probably. And we said, you know what? I think we need to make free to play and earn games. And that's been the vision of Triumph Games for the last 2 years.
So is BattleRise the first official launch from your team?
Yeah, exactly. So BattleRise is a BattleRise Kingdom of Champions is our first free-to-play game, but it's our free-to-play and earn game, and airdrop, as my head of Web3 also says. But yeah, it's a flagship product. We have a second product that is a pre-alpha called ArmorX, and my head of Web3 and we just designed the third title, which we'll roll off after we've got the BattleRise and the Battlecoin launched over the next few weeks.
Okay. So, as you mentioned, you're the team behind BattleRise Kingdom of Champions, which will be launching its in-game token in just a few days.
Yeah.
Which, of course, is the reason why you're here today. So, first off, can you talk a bit about exactly what BattleRise Kingdom of Champions is for those who might not be familiar just yet?
Okay, so BattleRise Kingdom Champions, it's an adventure RPG, but I kind of talk about I'm beginning to speak about it as being like Dungeons and Dragons on your mobile phone. So literally, you can play our story mode, or you can play an endless dungeon where every decision you make changes the outcome and the direction of the next bit that you get into in the game, leading all the way up to the big boss at the end. And of course, because Galaxy of Heroes was one of our inspirations, it has a live PvP. So, and I'll tell you, we've got a contest going in April to win. We're giving away I think, several 100,000 battle token for the people who are on the leaderboard for both the dungeon and the PvP mode of the game. So guys, you got a chance to win a whole lot of battle if you get yourselves into the game. But it's like Dungeons and Dragons in your hand. And as we talk further during this talk, we'll tell you about some of the exciting modes that are coming up that really make it feel like Dungeons and Dragons.
Okay. Can you tell us what part Tezos will be playing in bringing this game to life?
Yeah, I'm glad you asked. Um, my head of marketing, who also was helping us do some fundraising for the studio expansion, he met this guy at one of the Web3 shows in the Far East, in the APAC. I think it was in Singapore actually. And so he met Rowan, who was starting to work for Tezos APAC, and he said, you got to play the game. Just play the game for 10 minutes and you'll know. Rowan has basically become our product champion. And thank you so much, Rowan. He really gets the game. He got really excited, as excited as we are about the game. And he said, please come over to Tezos. I know that we're kind of late adopters of the Web3 gaming space. He said, but our technology is fantastic. And we are definitely going to be one of the dominant people in this space. But we also come from Web 2 games ourselves. We're linked to Namco Bandai, some of us, and come along and let's help you. Let's get you a grant for and it's a nice healthy grant we got from them, specifically for marketing and user acquisition. Let's get 50,000 users and then 100,000 users in, and let's help build the IP of BattleRise. And so it was just the perfect timing, and we really hit it off. And so we've been signed since the end of January to the Tezos blockchain, and we're really excited about it.
Okay. And we know why TZ APAC likes Tezos, but from your perspective, aside from the grant, what can you tell us about the reasons behind your team's decision to bring BattleRise Kingdom of Champions to Tezos and its ecosystem? Like, what made Tezos appealing for you and your team?
Yeah, I mean, one of the biggest things is I don't know if you guys, like, you got a banking app and then your bank says we're going to be shut for 2 hours Saturday night. That's usually when you're drunk, just came out of the pub, and you want to get some money from the cash machine. It's not working, right? Tezos have something called the forkless upgrade system. That means there will never be downtime. So that's really important for a game that is live for the Web 2 players who might not know that we're a blockchain game. We don't want them to have 2 hours of downtime on the server, so we can't do that because it's global. So that was there's a really appealing part to us. And I really like the look of the L2, the EVM chain that's coming a little bit later this year. That's going to be really important for BattleRise as we grow. So those two things, they really hooked us tremendously. I also love I love the open source ethos of Tezos as well. I think that's absolutely brilliant.
Very cool. So as I also mentioned off the top, we're going to be giving away some battle tokens today. Can you tell us about battle tokens and what part they'll be playing in the BattleRise Kingdom of Champions experience?
Okay, so now the way we position the game, we don't want to offend the potentially millions of players, MAU per month, that these types of games can get on mobile. So what we've done is we built Battle in the background, backing the entire ecosystem of the game, and we've built it in such a way that there are certain modes that will require the player to get involved in battle. Luckily, the player will be earning some battle as they play. So, like, we're using it as a combination of a reward and user retention. Because one thing's really important for free-to-play games is getting people to come back every day. So we've got like a little 7-day reward system every week. And on the 7th day, you get a little bit of battle. And we've got something called a battle pass, which is a 28-day system in the game. And on day 14 and day 28, you get a little bit of battle as well. So interestingly, the battle pass is also going to be linked to our first NFT that we're offering, which is the Founders Token. If you want to get involved in the whitelist of Founders Token or any of our NFT stuff, you got to join our Discord community. You can get on the whitelist for free. Okay. But the Founders Token will give holders not just a kind of equivalent of a battle node where they're earning some battle. I think we have 2 million battle reserved for Founders Pass token owners. they also get a free battle pass, so they get double dip. So because the battle pass has two layers, one layer where you earn some rewards every day, but a second layer where you earn more rewards for in-game rewards, and you pay like a couple of dollars or $5 or something like that to get the premium battle pass. Founders token holders, they're going to get it for free. But battle is also the reward for tournaments. This is a very cool thing. Okay, so Web3 is all about nobody. You don't want to. I don't want to pay to win. That's not the Web3 ethos. So we've created tournament mode. So not only do you have live PvP battle in the game where it's down to how much you built up your characters, but tournament mode, when that opens up, tournament mode is you guys get to have fully loaded characters and choose fully loaded characters to battle against each other. So it's like you each put a little battle in the pot, and then the winner takes a chunk, the largest chunk of battle when you guys finish the tournament. So
Interesting.
things like that are the way we're using battle in game.
But to clarify,
yeah,
will holding battle tokens be a requirement for those who want to experience this game for themselves?
Absolutely not. This is the beauty of the way the game is built. So, guys, right now, because Battle's not been launched yet, Battle's being launched. We've got our launch pad is April 12th, Friday, April 12th, and then it goes on central exchanges. First, it starts with Bitmart and Coinstore on Friday, April 19th. Okay, so because Battle's not out yet, the game you're not reliant upon Battle to play the game. You can go to Apple or Google Play right now and type BattleRise without a space, BattleRise, and get the game now. In fact, if you get the game now and you play through the tutorial, then if you can go to our website, go to game.battlerise.com, and we will give you some free stuff. The reason why you have to play the tutorial is because you need your name. You need your little name and your little code. You basically hook that into our server, and we will give you what's called a battle crystal every week for 7 weeks. You can come back for battle crystal, and each battle crystal gives you some in-game goodies. And this is going to be really important if you're trying to join the leaderboard contest we've got going in April, because some guys have been playing for a while, and they're at the top of the leaderboard now. But I know a guy who only joined a week ago and has been using the free battle crystals to build up, and he's already in the top 20 in the leaderboard. So, you can totally do it, guys. The top prize in the leaderboard contest is 25,000 battle. So that runs throughout the month of April.
And why was it important to you and your team that this game be free to play?
That's such an interesting question. Axie, everyone knows Axie, kind of like, and Zed Run was the other one. All right, like these games, they really opened up, but you had to buy something. You needed an NFT to get into the game, and as the game got more popular, the NFTs got higher and higher in price. And so, like, maybe in the West that wasn't a problem, but like in the APEC nations, some of the APEC nations, finding $50 to $100 is like, it created this guild system where the guilds were giving people scholarships, and then you would play, but like a portion of what you were earning was going back to the guild forever. And we're like, I kind of like that they're helping people get in, but it almost makes them kind of like, forgive me, but like slaves, it's like slave labor. We're like, I don't like that ethos. That's not Web3 to us. Web3 is you're involved, you like it, you want to be part of the community, you want to have a say, and you want to enjoy, you want to, a portion of, I'm going to use the word profits, although we have had legal opinion on Battle, and it is not a security, guys, but, you want to be rewarded for playing. So, being a part of the game and a part of the token means you guys are going to get rewards. So we wanted it to be free entry for sure in order to make this system work. And that's what we're trying to pioneer at Triumph Games.
Makes sense. My understanding is that there's a BattleRise Kingdom of Champions NFT collection in the works. What can you tell us about that collection and its place in the BattleRise universe?
Okay. I'm so glad you asked. First of all, the Founders Token is going to be the first one launched. and the founders token is going to give, and it's a small, I think it's 500, maybe it's 1,000. I don't remember. My head of Web3, he will remind me at some point, and I'll tell you guys. But as soon as the token is launched, the founders token is going to come up, and the founders token is going to give the ability for you to tap into this pot of 2 million battle that we've set aside. So it's going to be like running a node, effectively. You know, if you know what that means in Web3. At the same time, it gives you the battle pass every single month, and it also gives you a starter pack that's worth as much as you would spend for a big starter pack in game. Is going to be like, is going to get better value than if you were like buying a starter pack in the game. But that's just the first offering. The real offering is the NFT collection. This is so exciting. I don't know any game that's doing this yet, right? We are putting in the hands of the players the ability to build your own dungeon and put your own little storyline in. So if you're a Dungeons and Dragons player and you're the guy who likes to be the dungeon master and make the dungeon, this is perfect for you. Okay. So the NFT collection is basically going to be little collections of items that you use to build your dungeon. Okay. Once you build, you think of Mario Maker, right? So once you build your dungeon, you bring it into the game, we'll do some tests on it, make sure that it's not broken, right? And make sure that it works properly. And your dungeon goes into the game in a special section, right? So everybody who wants to play other people's dungeons, other people's stories, they pay a bit of battle to get in, and the person who made the dungeon gets most of that battle as their reward for having spent the time building the dungeon. Then the player who's in the dungeon, there's an exclusive set, the NFTs that are going in, you can win them. And at the final treasure chest is a randomizer to win. So if that final treasure chest, you beat the last boss, you get an NFT and you get some battle. So it's like win-win for everybody. It's really exciting. I don't know anybody else in mobile space who's giving these kind of tools in the hands of the players.
Okay. Can you talk a bit about the actual gameplay experience and that players can expect if they get involved? Like what will the game be like?
Okay, so now the beauty of it is, because we started as free to play, we actually released 6 months ago quietly free to play to test metrics like player retention and the ARPU and things like that to make sure that it was a viable product. So you can get in, you can play now. You got 3 different modes that feed each other in the economics loop of the main game that's not battle related. So in the story mode, you unlock pieces of character so you can get new champions. In dungeon mode, you unlock the upgrade shards and things like that so that you can build them up more, and you find artifacts as well. Because you for each character, they've got a few slots, and you put an artifact on. Well, the artifacts vary in rarity. They're basically our NFTs. Okay. So so you might find a legendary one and playing, and you put it on, and it makes them that much stronger. Fantastic. And then player versus player. This is where a lot of contests happen. And there's a third part of the economy that you only get in the player versus player. So you get this nice loop. You make you play a bit of story. You go through a dungeon, you get some artifacts, you make your player stronger. You go into the player versus player, and you fight against real people, right? And you win your battles, and you unlock some other elements that make you stronger to go back to story mode. And you get that nice little loop. That's the basic gameplay. It is a turn-based battle system, very much like Dungeons and Dragons. The Dungeon Master says, "What's your attack? What's your attack?" So you get to sit and choose. You get this like 3 moves per champion, and they're strategic. You might want to hit with the main guy, like your tank, but you might want to taunt and have all the enemies, because he's got the most hit points, and draw the enemy fired at him so that your weaker guys don't die, because your weaker guys have some really cool multi-character attacks. So it's really cool. I guarantee, guys, if you play through if you like Dungeons and Dragons, if you like this fantasy RPG stuff, play through the tutorial and make sure you play all 3 modes. And I think that you'll really enjoy it, and you'll get sucked into the game.
So I'm guessing there are quite a few people who've already done that, what you just described.
Yeah.
So what has the feedback been like from the people who have played BattleRise so far?
We have some players who got in like in the first or second month. It's 6 months later. They're still playing the game. They still love it, and the community, the lovers of the game are really positive. They're vocal. They come to all our AMAs and things like that. And they've got great suggestions because they know the games as intimately as us.
Mm.
They're like, hey, have you guys thought about, I don't know, maybe releasing a bit more of the lore as a reward? Because we got a huge backstory for everybody, every champion in the game, because we're thinking storyline.
Mm.
These guys are making great suggestions. So I'm really excited when, after the battle launch, a few months later, the studio token is going to come out called Try Token, and that's going to create governance for the community. Because I really want these guys, I want everybody who loves the game, I want you guys to be able to put ideas together and vote on them, and so we can stick them in the development roadmap for what comes down later down the line.
Mm. Obviously, very valuable information to know the people who are playing, what they like about it, things that they might not like about it, changes that they feel like might need to be implemented to make the gameplay better.
Yeah. It's
Okay.
so helpful. And they find bugs. And we reward them. You get rewards for finding, but if you find a new bug, you get a
Mm-hmm.
reward. Because we made this very strong server-based system to avoid hacking, the server system, it means that we know every single player.
Mm.
And so anyone in Discord who says, hey, I'm Shillalag, 12457, and I've just found this bug, and we're like, well done, Shillalag. Here's 50 crystals. Thank you
Mm.
so much. It's been brilliant, really great experience, like classic Web3 experience in my opinion.
Fabulous. This is all great stuff so far. I'm really excited to learn more. But before we dive into the nitty gritty, are you ready for the world famous TezTalks lightning round?
I am ready for the lightning round.
Great. Just before we do that, I'd like to announce today's keyword for the 3 battle token prize packs we're giving away today. Today's keyword is !BattleRise. Enter the keyword !BattleRise below this video on X, and Nightbot will randomly select today's winners, who will announce in the comments below this video on X as well. For those who miss out on the battle token prize packs today, the BattleRise Kingdom of Champions team has something for all of you as well. Matt, can you explain what our TezTalks viewers can claim today for tuning in to the show and what they need to do to claim it?
Right, guys, if you download the game, right, and then do what I was talking about earlier, download the game, play through the tutorial so that you get to the bit where you've got your name, okay? Go to game.battlerise.com and follow the instructions there. You're going to want to put in your player name in, where it's going to allow you to make a Kukai wallet, which is just like your social media instead of having to do KYC. Okay. And then we're going to give you the first battle crystal, which gives you 100 crystals in game, which gives you a huge leg up. So you can just buy some stuff. And then if you come back every week, we're going to give you a little more and a little more and a little more, up to some fantastic unlock legendary champion in week 7. So get in there and get that stuff, guys.
Awesome. Okay, now, Matt, it's lightning round time.
Lightning round.
Remember, there are no wrong answers, and this is just for fun so our viewers can get to know you a little bit better. Are you ready?
I am ready.
Cats or dogs?
Both. I have both.
Okay. Pizza or sushi?
Again, both.
Movies or video games?
Video games.
That was a trick question just for you. True or false? Money buys happiness.
No. Love buys happiness, but money helps.
Great answer. Is this real life or are we in a simulation?
That is such a great question. It's definitely both, but live it like it's real, guys.
All right. Name one thing you absolutely want to do before you die.
Oh my goodness. What a great question. Oh no, it's lightning round. Be on MasterChef.
Ooh, interesting answer. The last place you traveled was?
Here. I am in the mountains of North New Jersey.
Earthquake country.
Earthquake country, apparently.
In 5 words or less, how would your best friend describe you?
My best friend described me loud, American, um, funny, egocentric.
Perfect. And finally, what is your favorite thing to do on a rainy day?
Definitely cuddle up with the CEO of Triumph Games, lit fire, glass of wine, and watch a movie.
Excellent. Excellent answer. This concludes the TES Talks lightning round. Let's
Thank
get
you.
back into it. Now that we've introed BattleRise Kingdom of Champions a bit,
Yeah.
I'd like to zoom out and talk a little about the intersection between gaming, blockchain, and Web3 more broadly. My understanding is that there, as you've spoken about already, there'll be an important play to earn element to the BattleRise experience moving forward. And I'm curious, what do you think the play to earn model has to contribute to the gaming space and gaming community as they continue to evolve?
Okay. Right. We all know that years ago, when computer games kind of like really hit, that it was a pay to play. You bought a game, you spent $50 or 50 quid or wherever you are, right? And the price went up each year. Okay, so it was pay to play. So when free to play came out, it was really disruptive technology. Okay, free to play changed the landscape. Some people say you give the game away for free. That's ridiculous. You're not going to make any money. Well, in fact, what they found was, as a business model, it was a better business model. Okay, it wasn't relying upon download content to try to give the player more. It was give them a game that they love and they feel vested in, and then they'll pay a little bit here, a little bit there, and it became a great business model. Okay, along comes Web3 and this play to earn, Axie, Zedra, and all those kind of games that came out at the time, but the gameplay value was a little low.
Mm.
And it's because they weren't being made with big budgets in mind. It was, let's put something out the door that is effectively a vehicle to the token. So I see Web3 gaming, I see play to earn gaming as the next disruptive technology in the history of computer games. Years from now, there won't be this Web 2, Web 3 divide at all. Years from now, everybody's going to be earning from playing video games. I really see big games company even beginning to put this into their games. Maybe like an American football game having like an esport element built into the game instead of having like an esport channel doing esports where people play against each other. I definitely say, and this is why we are positioning ourselves in this space. I love the idea, the whole concept of community being rewarded. That to me, here's a little testimony of kind of, and I'll keep it short. I have an artist who works for me. He's from the Philippines, right? He was working part time for us at first because he used to have to travel several hours a day on the bus to work an awful job for like, I think at the end of the week he may have made $20 because he spent so much on the bus ride and whatever else. He didn't. Now I said to him, come and work for me full time, right? And we just gave him a stable income
Mm.
working for us full time. Now imagine, guys, you gamers out there, imagine playing a game that you absolutely love, you thoroughly enjoy, it's beautiful, the experience makes you feel great and fulfilled. And when you close the game at the end of the day, you find out you made $20 that day. That to me is the heart of Web3. That is free to play and earn. And that's where we want to be. That's where Triumph Games is positioning ourselves.
And this certainly isn't the first play to earn game we've seen launched in the Web3 gaming space. You've mentioned a couple that have been
Yeah.
launched already, but it is one of the more promising projects we've seen launched so far. From your perspective, as somebody who's building one of these games, what has prevented the play to earn gaming model from catching on thus far? Is it strictly, as you said before, the in-game experience not being quite up to snuff?
I think it's two prong. I think one is that the current gaming community who are not blockchain savvy, there's been a huge barrier to entry into blockchain for them. I remember trying to make my first Binance account, and it was ridiculous. And then I thought I made it, and then they kicked me out because I was in the UK instead of the US. It was like I put all that heartache into it, and I got kicked out. It was really frustrating. It almost made me go, "Oh, I don't want to play anymore."
Yeah.
So I think a lot of Web 2 guys. I remember Ubisoft said, "Hey, we're getting into this space," and everybody went, "Whoa, no way, we don't want that." But I think that there's been a huge misunderstanding. I think a lot of education is going to help. People saw people paying ridiculous amounts of money for like a Bored Ape or something like that, and they're like, "This is just a money grab," and they just didn't understand it. Okay, but I tell you what, one of my kids was playing CS:GO. They got a really rare knife, and they're like, "Dad, this is worth $200." I'm like, "Oh, how do you get $200 for that?" This is pre-Web3. And they're like, "Oh, you have to go on a black market site, and it's kind of dangerous." And he tried to do it, and he gave his knife before the guy paid, and the guy didn't pay.
Mm.
Like, oh, like it's heartbreaking to me. Web3 is like the solution. It's like an escrow agent, It's like you give me the money, you give me the item, and now I'll change hands, and then you're both safe. Web3 does that. It's like, oh, the blockchain is fantastic. One thing that BattleRise is having, not in the next couple of weeks, but certainly in the next couple of months, is an in-game marketplace where you could trade all the stuff safely with each other. The battle token, battle will be the currency within the marketplace. But if you find 2 legendary swords and you only need 1, you can sell the other. So all that is like the heart to me. So the Web 2 guys were suspicious, but I just don't think they understood what was going on. I think as we educate them more, we're a stealth Web 3 game to the Web 2 community. They're going to get a wallet and not know. And the day they get 2 legendary items and they want to sell 1, then they're going to get it. Oh, that's Web 3. Now I understand.
Well, that was the next thing I was going to ask is if you see this as an effective entry point to bring new users into the Tezos ecosystem and into the larger blockchain and Web3 space. And it sounds like you do, just based on what you just said. Right?
Yeah, this is our plan. Our plan, we'd like it. We want to get our game as popular as Raid Shadow Legends and Summoner's War and Galaxy of Heroes. There are millions of players per day on those games, and they all have a wallet. They've all got a stealth wallet already on the Tezos chain, already in the Tezos ecosystem. They're already earning Battle as they play, and they're able to use Battle in game. They just think it's another coin. But at some point they go, "My goodness, Battle is a real thing in the real world, and it's worth $1 a coin. I've got hundreds of these."
Yeah.
And now they're like, "I have earned playing something I love, and I think I'll cash out a couple $100, $1,000. I don't know, to the moon, let them all buy islands, whatever."
So, from your perspective, how will the in-game economy of the BattleRise universe differ from the ones that we've seen before?
Oh, that is really good. Different from those we've seen before. So, yeah, I think we're being quite generous with the rewards and the allocations of Battle to the people. Obviously, safe for the sake of, we've got a 4-year vesting period for Battle. We're not going to shove it all on the marketplace. We're going to be safe. But I think that we're being very generous. 35% of the Battle is allocated to in-game economy. And every time players spend Battle in-game, we have a switch. And the switch says, do we need it back in the game for the next player or not? Because if we don't, we'll burn it. So, which will be great. It's win-win for everybody, because if a little bit of Battle is being burned each day slowly over the course of the next 4 years, that's very good for Battle holders.
Interesting. So in-game economies and play-to-earn gaming are obviously both very interesting use cases for blockchain technology.
Yes.
But I've been told, and I think you mentioned this a little bit earlier, that there has been some resistance from the sort of global gaming community. In your view, where does that resistance come from, and how can Web3 game developers overcome it?
Um, the main resistance that I've been seeing is this accusation of greed.
Mm.
And I think it is through generosity that we are going to help overcome this. It's like, oh, this isn't a money grab for you personally. You know, when people realize, look, guys, game development is not free. Okay. We all, game developers, we have to find the funds to make beautiful, great games for you. Fun games. It takes time. It takes energy. We need to make sure the game loop is fun before we even put art on it. And then we have to make it look beautiful
Mm.
and enticing to you. Okay. So that it's a pleasure, it's a joy to play. Okay. So if you remove the greed, if it's a win-win, if you playing the game are rewarded for playing the game and your opinion matters in the direction the game goes next, so you have a vested interest, I think that all really helps to overcome the misinformation about the fact that it's just a money grab, because it really is not a money grab.
Mm. Interesting. From as somebody who's been playing this kind of stuff for my whole life, all the way back to like Magic cards as a
Yes.
kid,
Yeah.
I've always believed the key is that the person who has more money to put into the game and the person that has less money to put into the game, there has to be a way for them to be on even footing within the game.
Yes.
That the
Yes.
person having more money than me should not make them be able to beat me. Right?
Exactly. Exactly. We've got a lot of mechanics within the game to prevent that.
Mm.
You know, like within the PvP arena, we've got banding so that a level 100 player doesn't kill a level 1 player who's just gotten the game. That'd be frustrating. You know, so like we've got banding within the PvP system. Um, you know, we put optional adverts in the game. So, you know, we make pennies per advert, maybe 10p per advert, you know, max. But you guys can, if you guys can buy things, and we don't have an offer going at the time, because we will have loads and loads of stuff, you can just opt to watch these little 30-second adverts and get free stuff.
Mm.
You know,
Okay.
as I said earlier, the guys who've been playing for like 5, 6 months, they are in the top of the leaderboard, even though you know the contest only opened in April,
Mm-hmm.
right? They've got a little edge. They're at the top of the leaderboard. But I know a guy who only started the game a week ago, because we've been announcing this contest coming.
Mm-hmm.
And between the free stuff that he's been getting, the Battle Crystal and other things that we've been dropping, um, he's in the top 20. It's taking him a week to get there.
Yeah.
You know, the top prize is 25,000 battle. You know, and it goes all the way down to, you know, like a few hundred battle. But we're rewarding 500 people on the leaderboard.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, come in and play. Come on, get some battle, guys. Come and earn some free stuff.
Well, it's a completely different thing if the reason I'm losing is because they have more experience and they're have a better strategy because of that experience, right? Because
Yes.
that just tells me that I need to play more and I
Yeah.
need to learn more in order to beat them. Whereas if it's a matter of they have this really expensive thing that I can't afford, then
Yeah.
that is frustrating and I'm probably done at that point, right?
Yeah, yeah. You know, you would want to walk away. Now, but there's a flip side to this too. When the in-game marketplace is in, right? So now you come in the game, you're new, you play the tutorial, you really like the game, you play your first PvP. Maybe you didn't do as well as you would have liked. You're like, I want a leg up. And you go into the in-game marketplace. Well, a bunch of guys who have been playing for a while and found more artifacts that they need, they take some decent stuff. And
Yeah.
it may not be the best thing that they have because they kept the best one, but it's like better than anything you have found so far. And there it is in the marketplace.
Mm.
And lo and behold, I've earned 50 battle already. I'm going to buy that. So the new player is going to get a leg up via the marketplace from the battle that they've earned. They didn't even have to put money at Essential Exchange to buy battle. But if they wanted to do that, they could do that as well. So,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
So, for those of us who would like to play BattleRise Kingdom of Champions, where's the best place for us to start and what do we need to do?
Okay, guys. So whether you have an Apple or a Google phone, go to the App Store or go to Google Play and just search BattleRise without a space, and get the game. Just play the tutorial. As I said, go to game.battlerise.com and we'll give you some free stuff for signing up. Okay. Those are two really good things. Get involved in our social media. It's Linktree/BattleRise. And that has all our links. It's got Twitter, Discord. Get in the Discord community, because we drop into our community a couple times a month. We drop a code for some free goodies. Like there's a Star Steel code at the moment, which is a very special thing. It effectively gives you artifacts, which are the NFTs of the game as soon as you decide to mint them. Okay. Oh yeah, that was the other thing about Tezos, is the gas fees are like so minimal that minting things costs like a fraction of a penny, which is beautiful. I really love that generosity of Tezos. But get involved. If you get into Discord and Telegram as well, get into our Telegram, which is BattleRise as well. Get into Discord, get into Telegram. We're constantly putting little codes out for freebies. And if you're in the game and you can't spend, just watch some adverts and you get some free stuff as well.
So should we, as Tezos people, expect to see more collaborations between Triumph Games and the Tezos blockchain and ecosystem moving forward?
Definitely, guys. We've got coming up. We have I think it's a 1.2 million battle airdrop by the end of April. So post it launching, and right now that is split into 6 pieces, and 200,000 battle is reserved for Tezos community. Okay, so you get into our Discord, get into our Telegram, Twitter, and stuff like that. We're going to be putting, and obviously we'll let you guys know as well, so that you guys can drop some information about it. How to get involved will come via the social media and via the Discord. So for you Tezos guys, we've reserved 200,000 battle for you guys to be distributed on airdrop day.
Very cool. What's next for the Triumph Games team? Do you have any other exciting rollouts or announcements in the works?
Yes. Okay. So what else do we have? We've just got partnerships with both Monk DAO and Basque DAO, which is we're really happy about that. We've got a So Quest coming up that you guys can get involved as another way to get some free battle. So if you know where So Quest, SoQuest.xyz/space/BattleRise. And you guys, it's very simple. Just follow a few steps and you'll get some allocation. You'll get some goodies from that. We've got the launch pad on April 12th. This is the public sale of battle. It's only 20 cents a battle. And a week later on April 19th, battle goes live on Bitmart and Coinstore, and it's going at 25 cents. So it's great. It's like upside for everybody who gets involved in the launch pad. One of the other launch pads is Zenix. And Zenix, you can start to get involved there as well. That's a DEX rather than a CEX. And the other one is Globiance, GLOBIANCE, who are also going our private banking. They've got Web3 banking. I'm so excited. And so you can get involved with that. Post launch and post the airdrops in April, we'll be constantly roadmap. We're going to be constantly adding new features, Web3 features and Web2 features to the game every single month. And so if you're in the socials, you'll see the stuff. You get involved with the NFT, the founder sale, or the dungeon builder sale. They're both great. But we've also got our other title, which is called ArmorX. And ArmorX is a futuristic anime kind of survival RPG. So that's really cool too. You guys are really going to like that game too. But BattleRise is where it's at for the moment. So
perfect.
Pardon me.
No problem. I mean, we could go on all day, but we're unfortunately coming to the end here. Yes. And before we close off, I'd like to remind our viewers that we're giving away 3 prize packages containing $200, $100, and $50 in battle tokens today. To enter, just type the keyword !BattleRise in the comments below this video on X. For those who miss out today, we remind you that there are awesome giveaways to be found frequently here on TezTalks Live, so keep tuning in. If you'd like to get in touch with us, our social media contacts can be found at tezoscommons.org/TezTalks. We'd love to hear from you. Matt, thanks so much for joining us today. It's always awesome to speak to the folks bringing cool gaming projects like this into the Tezos ecosystem and keeping Tezos at the forefront of the Web3 revolution. Is there anything else you'd like to mention before we sign off here?
Guys, I love this game. This game is like born from who I am, and I'm a big Dungeons and Dragons nerd. And if you like that sort of thing, if you like fantasy, come and play the game. I just think you're just gonna love it. Okay. But the last thing that I want to say is that we got a lovely grant from Smart Europe to build AI. So one of the really cool things that I don't know if anyone else has coming is when the dungeon builder's in place, there's going to be some AI connected to it to help you write your storyline behind the dungeon and to bring some of your NPCs to life. They'll be able to speak to the characters and convey the story. That's really cool.
That's very cool. Matt, thanks so much for joining us today. Oh, sorry, I already said that. Yeah, we'd love to. We're obviously going to be keeping a close eye on this as it rolls out, and we'd love to have you back on once things get going and we can check in how it's going.
That'd be great. I'd love to do that. Thank you.
Fabulous. To everyone out there in Tezos land, thanks for joining us on the TezTalks Live. I'm Stu from the Tezos Commons, and our awesome guest has been Matt Nagy, COO of Triumph Games. Now let's go do battle.